Hey there, and welcome to part 2 of Design with Code. If you are new here, this is a free course for designers, and it all starts at designwithcode.dev. You've got your environment set up, you've deployed a website, you've made your first code changes, and pushed them live. Now let's actually understand what you're looking at and how to work with it. So first, why it matters. I know what some of you might be thinking. If AI can generate all this code, why do I need to learn what HTML and CSS are in the first place? Why not just, skip to the AI part? So here is why. AI models got better at generating code. They got dramatically better, but they're still not as good at knowing what to generate, at having taste and making things that are fully original and well suited to your audience. That part is still on you, and doing this part effectively is highly dependent on you understanding the ins and outs of the medium that you are working with. And in this case, this medium is code. The difference between a designer who understands code and the one who doesn't isn't about who types and generates things faster. It's about who knows what to ask for, how to spot when something is off, and how to refine the results until it's perfect. Remember the music analogy that I mentioned in the introduction? Really applies here. But you can also think it from another angle. Like a film director doesn't operate the camera, doesn't do the lighting, doesn't edit the footage. But they understand all those things well enough to direct the people who do. They know the vocabulary, they know what's possible, they know what good looks like. That's what makes them really effective. It also applies to other design professions. Let's say if you design furniture, you would usually work with technologists or with people who are more experienced than you in using all sorts of materials and methods. But that doesn't really mean you should know nothing about it. If you don't know what methods to use, how your ideas will become reality in the manufacturing process, probably the ideas that you produce will be far more naive and less optimized for real world. So now let's talk about the 3 core languages of the web: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Every website that you've ever seen, every single website, from a personal blog to Instagram to Jira, is built with those 3 core technologies. If you open a website like that, you can see those technologies work together in what we call DevTools. That's what you see on the right. And what you see in the upper part, this is HTML. This is markup, the structure of the page. Then below, what you see is CSS, which we also call styles. And here, divided into rules, properties, and values, this is all the stuff that defines how the website looks like. And then the last part is JavaScript. And JavaScript is behavior. It defines how things work. When you click this button, open a menu, when data comes back from a server and getting displayed, for most of those things, JavaScript is the brain. So these 3 are the foundation. Everything else, React, Astro, Tailwind, Next.js, they all build on top of them. These modern tools make development faster, more organized, but they all compile down to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in the end. Browsers can only understand those 3. So when you learn about fundamentals, you're learning about something that applies everywhere. Any framework, any tool, any AI. They all produce the same building blocks. In that part of the course, we will focus on the portfolio website project. We will do editing content, editing styles, editing structure. I will show you how to understand what already have been done in the template and how to work with this code. We will see our results in the browser, but we will mostly work in the code editor. So for example, once we will want to edit a hero component, we will find a file called hero. And here we will be able to change content styles behavior, and so on. And just like that, let's say if I decide that those fonts are too bold, I can go into my code and change font from bold to normal. And instantly you will see that the website changes on your local machine. And then, of course, we will review all those steps that you already learned in the previous part. So how to bring those changes from your local machine onto the server and into the web so everyone can see it. One of the concepts we will work with it a lot is components. So let's say this hero, this is a component. This button is also a component. And we will work with components a lot because that's a very important basic building block of all the modern web, of all modern frameworks. And if you've ever used components in Figma, you will feel right at home. That's exactly the same model, just, in code. You will create components, reuse them in many places, customize them, set up properties, etc. This is, I think, the part that designers tend to feel most at home with immediately. We will also cover debugging and troubleshooting, which is honestly one of the most practical skills you will learn. Things will break definitely, and knowing how to investigate those issues is what separates someone who gives up from someone who fixes it. So by the end of this part, we'll be able to read any website's code and understand roughly what is happening. Not every detail, but the shape of it. You will know what you're looking at, and you will know what the problems are, when they appear, and how to approach fixing them. All right, it's time to head into the exercises that you will find on designwithcode.dev. By the end of this part, you will be speaking the language of the web.